everyone, this is Wisconsin with VaporizerReview.com. Today I have the Flytlab H2FLO vaporizer. Not really a pen style vaporizer. It has a type of chamber that has the consistent heating, so you're not holding a button down to maintain the temp. It just hits there and stays where it's at. So I'm curious to see how this one's going to perform. Let's take a look inside the box now. Okay, right off the bat you can see it's pretty clean packaging in there. The looks like, I'm guessing, the unit itself sitting right here on the side, and then we got some attachments along with it. Before we get too far into those, I'm going to see what's underneath this. Instructions, just inside booklet, so it's looking pretty vague in terms of Step 1, load. Step 2, power on. Step 3, vapor H2FLO. So they definitely leave it up to the person using it to kind of really figure out exactly how it operates. A little bit of instruction, but kind of vague overall. As far as the packaging goes, it looks pretty nice down in there. Looks like it comes with a little grinder, a small one right in there, snugly placed into the packaging, so you get a nice little acrylic grinder. Another additional attachment. I'm thinking this is the water attachment that came with it. And then they have the charger for it as well. Interesting looking flat cabled charger that comes with it. Comes along with the wall part, but interestingly enough, it's not like a USB end to it. It's like a little flat piece that fits right into here. So as far as I can tell, you do need an outlet to charge it. You can't charge it on a computer or anything with a USB. That's a little bit of an inconvenience. And they have something else in here as well. It looks like it's stuck in there. We got a brush, some extra mouthpieces, it looks like. Basic, little extras to go along with it to keep and maintain your unit. Now that we've got it all out of the box, let's try and figure out how this thing works. Alright, so we have the Flytlab H2FLO out of the box, and we're taking a little bit closer look here. So of the attachments that you get with it, we have the vapor controller, this one right here. It looks like that can fit on top of the unit. And then we have the vapor chamber, so it's just a little glass piece here that fits on top. Nothing specifically unique to it, it just allows you to then kind of carb the vaporizer. That's pretty cool, so you can definitely get larger hits that way, being able to control the airflow more. I'm a little curious is just about how much connectivity these things have. I've noticed so far that the mouthpieces come off of the units, so you can already begin to just kind of, it's very modular, you can switch things up pretty quickly. I'm curious to see how, when everything's connected in the ultimate mode, it functions. This is a pretty tall vaporizer here with a lot going on, so once we get it heated up and start operating it, I'm going to really start flipping through all these modular setups they've got. Despite not threading into place on it, they are kind of snug when they connect. I'm sure a lot of people like a full-on thread-on connection, so that way you're not running any risk of it accidentally just kind of all popping off of each other. Like I said though, it is kind of staying pretty well connected with just the O-rings, but something to consider over time is you're probably going to have to replace them just because they're going to lose their elasticity eventually. The herb chamber for the vaporizer here, the Flytlab H2FLO, small little chamber right there. Looks like it's possibly ceramic lined. There's no coil down in there, so right off the bat I'm comfortable thinking that I probably won't be burning the herb. It's probably going to vaporize properly. Curious to get going with it and try out all these attachments. So let's get some herb out and pack it up. Decent sized chamber, can probably hold about 0.2 grams to about 0.4, and nothing gigantic, but pretty common for this style of vaporizer. Just pack it down slightly and reattach the cover here. To turn it on, you press it 3 times. It's going to flash white briefly and then start flashing red. This is letting you know that it is heating up. So currently it's heating to temperature, and when it's ready to go, it's going to go to a solid green color. So while it's heating up here, I'm going to break down a little bit what we got in front of us. The flow control is essentially a carb for the vaporizer. So how modular this thing is, you can really move stuff around on it. The mouthpiece here can connect right onto the unit if you don't want to use anything. And really all the mouthpieces, it looks like, kind of can swap between each other. So it's kind of cool. You can really make it pretty modular. That's definitely one of the more unique aspects of this unit, is in how much can be done with just one vaporizer. So first I'll start off with here, once it gets up to temp, I'm going to use it with just the mouthpiece. I'm curious, right down there, not much air path, so I'm assuming it's going to be kind of warm. I just want to see how it tastes there. After that I'm going to add the flow control and the vapor chamber to kind of get some idea of how that operates. And I'm going to mix in this water chamber here. I already got some water in it. Filled it up to the max line. I'm living on the edge here. Want to get as much potential out of it with hopefully out overdoing it, but I put it right on the edge of the line. So let's see. We've hit green. We're ready to vaporize. First draw, really good. It's not smoke, but it definitely is on the far side of things. It's pretty thick vapor here. Definitely very thick vapor. So before I get through all the herb I've got in just one shot here, I'm going to include the flow control and the vapor chamber and put the mouthpiece back on. So now, as we draw, still getting very thick vapor production. You can tell that as I'm drawing on it, it's still pulling the vapor through, but until I really release it here, it's not, you know, it's a carb essentially to get that extra vapor production, get that extra airflow. And you can see I'm getting some very thick vapor production. It doesn't feel like it's smoke. It is possibly on the edge, but I think what it is just thick vapor. Yeah, I don't taste any combustion. Without pulling the herbs out, I really feel like it's just getting some awesome vapor production from it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try what they call in the manual the ultimate, and this is the one I'm a little worried about. It looks like we're doing the wizard staff. We're stacking them on top of each other. So now we're also flowing through water. We've got the flow control, we've got the vapor chamber, and we've got the water chamber. They call it the ultimate in the instruction guide. Yeah, tastes good. Turned off on me during the use, so there is an auto shut off on it. I'm just going to pop it back on. It's back to flashing red, but I can tell that with all of them connected, you get a much larger air path. So by the time it gets to you, the vapor has definitely cooled down from the glass air chamber all the way up to the water chamber as well. So I'm going to keep drawing on it a little. Alright, so I'm getting some pretty solid rips out of it. Before I go through all the herb I have in there, I do want to take it down just one notch here. I want to see what it's like without the vapor chamber and just going directly into the water. So it looks like we can go from flow control into water, so let's see what it's all about. And I'm still getting great vapor production from it. Now I'm feeling it. I can tell that it's not smoke, so I'm gonna take this off here, and I feel like we've probably spent most of the herb that I have packed into here. So out of curiosity, I would like to see exactly what it's been taken down to. Go ahead and turn the unit off. To turn it off, you press and hold it for roughly 5 seconds. A little interesting that the on and off are different, but whatever, it's in the instructions. If you read them, you'll figure it out. So now that's off, and I got it all kind of de-pieced apart. Let's see where that herb is at. I packed it in kind of dense here, but yeah, let's check it out now. We've got turned to a dark brown. There is no ash, so it definitely did not burn the herb. It is very dark brown though. It's definitely come out very well vaporized. Not to the point of combustion though, so that's a plus. Large unit overall, but with all the attachments, I really feel like you can get pretty good value out of it. Alright, so now we've had a chance to use it, let's talk about the cons, or just what I don't really like about it. One thing I noticed early when initially opening the box, and really even before packing the herb, was that it does have a rather kind of factory smell to it. I'm not necessarily looking to open up a brand new pair of Jordans right now, but it does have that kind of almost like production smell. That'll likely go away very quick within using it, but it's one of the things I did notice kind of immediately. Another thing is the fact that there's no temperature control, so when you set it and turn it on, it's set to where it's set. And you can tell from the video that the vapor production is very thick, but if you want more control over it and you want to be able to do lighter draws or just not get as much thick clouds as that, you're not really going to be able to. It's just the one set temp. And I would say lastly on these aspects, that would be the portability. It is a portable vaporizer, but it only comes in the box. There's no carrying pouch or anything like that. So you have all these accessories, but unless you're wearing cargo shorts, it might be a little difficult to get around with everything. I mean, obviously you can just go straight with this, but you got that one preset temp, so it's kind of warm on the lips without any of the either vapor chamber or the water chamber. When you put it in your pocket, you do look like you have it going on, kind of well endowed at that point, so maybe that's also a plus to it. Alright, let's talk about what I do like about it, the pros here. First off, and always the most important in the vaporizer, is the vapor production. I'm someone who personally likes getting thick clouds of vapor when I'm using it. Almost kind of borderline the combustion level, but it had good flavor without getting to the point of burning. So if you do like thick clouds of vapor, you're definitely going to get it with this, with the one set temperature here. I like all the accessories. It's kind of modular, so that's cool. It can be switched out to put on this carb. I think that does help a little in when getting vapor, thicker clouds. Maybe that just had something to do with the extra air path on it more than anything, but it is a cool little attachment that goes along with it. So that's definitely one neat aspect of it. The bubbler here, very cool. I like a small little bubbler that you can use. I'm a big fan of water filtration, so overall I think that's definitely the plus aspects of this guy. The Flytlab H2FLO vaporizer. You can tell it worked on me. You do get a lot of things that come with it, accessories and things like that. I guess that's kind of expected at a price tag of $199.99, so for about $200 you do want to get what you're paying for. And I would say in terms of vapor production, you do get that for the price, as well as the added accessories, so that's pretty cool. If you want a portable, it might not be the route to go because you're looking at something kind of large. If you're into modular and like little accessories that go with it, these are already included, so that's pretty neat. I would suggest it if you want something for the vapor production overall. If that's what you're in it for, I would say the Flytlab H2FLO is a good route to go. Alright, now go ahead and feel free to check out the place where I purchased it myself. And if you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I'll be sure to respond. Alright, cheers guys.